I'm gonna explain you how the solid phase synthesis, solid phase peptide synthesis to be carried out. So for that, what you need to do is, this is the 2-chlorotetraresin, which is supported with the polymer materials. So these on reaction with the FMOC protected proline. This is the amino acids which on in presence of the reaction with the N-diethyl isopropylamine, which is base. When you carry out the reaction of this in the with this particular resin, it will give this particular product. And now you want to attach the one more amino acid with this, and you want to expand that particular chain and generate a larger molecular weight amino acids. For that, what you need to do is you need to deproduct this particular functional group, that is FMOC, which is over there, which on reaction with the piperidine will give you the NH over there, which is reactive side to carry out the reaction further. So how will you be doing that is that you just add the piperidine in it and it will be deprotected. The mechanism of this particular reaction is like this. There will be abstraction of this proton will takes place and will generate the negative charge carrier, which will expand it further and will furnish the end product like a liberation of the carbon dioxide molecule and this particular molecule, which is having the exocyclic double bond, which is anti-aromatic and which is quite unstable. So its stability will be achieved by the reaction of this piperidine over there, and will furnish this particular product, that is FMOC piperidine adduct. And this particular product is having its certain lambda max value. So based on that particular lambda max value, we will be in positions to make out this particular material's millimolar loading percentage. So because in conventional reaction we have the starting material's molecular weight with us, so based on that molecular weight we will be in position to make out the millimolar ratio. But in the case of the polymer, such thing is not there. So we need to determine the millimolar ratio, and that we can determine based on the this particular generation of these particular products. Here you can see that this is the assembly for the synthesis of this particular solid phase peptide synthesis, and this is the assembly for the conventional reactions. Now you will be surprised between these two that why these two the assembly is different, because on a solid phase, when you want to carry out certain reactions over there, then what you need to do is the reaction will take place over the surface of this particular polymers, and so what is happening over there is since the reaction is taking place over the surface of the molecules, there should not be a scrubbing of the material should take place. Likewise, the way it should take place in the conventional reactions. So in order to avoid those complications, we have to devise different assembly for the solid phase synthesis. And this is the assembly. This is the glass rod which is connected with the Teflon tap over there, which is over there for the stirring. This is the overhead stirrer. Only thing is you have to just connect this way. You have to just plug it and make sure that this particular end of this Teflon should not get scrubbed with the bottom surface of this particular assembly, that is centered assembly. And this is the way you can stir it. This is the stirring portion for that. Here you can see this is the stirring. And in order to drain this excess of material and the excess of the solvent from the systems, there is a pipelining given over here which is connected with this certain flask which is there. And this is also connected with the vacuum pump to drain the solvent. So how will you drain the solvent is just you have to switch off this particular stirring, and then you have to switch on the vacuum, and when you do it, so this is how the draining of the solvent will take place, and all the compounds and the extra material will be there, which is not bound to the polymer, will go off to this particular flask. So this is how you can carry out the reaction for this, and you have to just switch it off, and this is how. Now you have to give the repeatedly washing of the different solvents to these reactions, and that is this way you can give this is the just EHF, this is the solvent. So this is the way you have to repeatedly give the solvent washing to these reactions and remove the extra material which is not bound with the polymer. So you have to do this way, and then you have to again start the stirring, and this is the way you have to start stirring. Keep it for the 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can switch it off this stirring and start the vacuum again, and you just filter it off. So this is how you can purify the materials. There will be no unbound material will remain over here, and this is how you can enhance the overall things. Now the question was, I was telling about the how to determine the FMOP ratio. So for that shape, what you need to do is you have to clean up this flask, and you have to add the 20% of piperidine in the DMF in it, and you have to stir it for a longer time, like 30 minutes or so, in order to deprotect and generate that particular adduct. So once that adduct will generate over here, then you have to drain it, you have to flush it with the DMF several times, and you have to make sure that there should not be any FMOP product will remain over here. In order to determine that, what you need to do is you have to just check the pH over here, and that should be the neutral one. So once you do that, what you have to do here, you have to just take out the sample, you have to measure the total quantity of it, and then there is one equation in which you will put up the value, and you will get your millimolar ratio. So this is how you can carry out the reactions for the attachment of the different amino acids, and you can generate the larger molecular weight peptides molecule.